How's it going, everybody? It's Young here with a Death Stranding news update. The following information comes directly from Hideo Kojima, who took to Sony's Tokyo Game Show 2016 press conference to reveal some new information about his upcoming new title, Death Stranding. I'll be summarizing all of the new information in this one video, so for those who missed the presentation, without further ado, let's dive right into it. Kojima began by talking about some familiar facts about the game, starting with the title Death Stranding, sharing once again how it was derived from something called mass stranding, which is when sea creatures like whales and dolphins wind up stranded on the shore. If they're alive, it's called life stranding. If they're dead, it's called death stranding. He also talked a bit about how the word strand means twisted threads in psychological terms and how the overall theme of the game is connections, so nothing new there. He then proceeded to share what little details he could provide about gameplay, starting with the fact that the genre is action, which we already knew about, but he also confirmed some new details, such as the fact that Death Stranding will be an open-world game with a degree of freedom that will also allow you to enjoy the story. He also mentioned some online elements. After talking a bit about the whole stick-on-the-rope concept presented by Japanese author Kobo Abe's book, The Rope, it was also confirmed that Death Stranding will feature some kind of co-op element, although he didn't go into specifics. The next topic that Kojima addressed was the current status of his studio and the status of the game's development, stating that he has finally settled into an office and workspace for Kojima Productions and that the game engine has finally been chosen, which means that the team can finally focus on game creation. He didn't specify which game engine he had chosen, but according to a report from one of my sources, it might be an updated version of the Sucker Punch engine. Just compare Infamous Second Son to Death Stranding's trailer and you'll see what I mean. For more information on that, be sure to check out my previous video dedicated to that report. Moving on, Kojima also mentioned that he has plans to accommodate for 4K as well as HDR, likely referring to the capabilities of the more powerful PS4 Pro that Sony recently announced. In other words, those who buy the more powerful console will get to enjoy additional graphical fidelity, but I also think most people should be fine with their regular PS4s and 1080p TVs. I'm sure the game will look great regardless. Then, during his closing statement, Kojima made a bold declaration that he wants to prove that even indie studios like his new Kojima Productions can make AAA world-class masterpieces. He said that's what he's striving for with this new title. One final update Kojima provided was that on September 18th, during TGS 2016, he will be making an appearance on a stage provided by Sony, and on that stage he'll be talking about other information regarding Death Stranding he couldn't talk about during his brief presentation. So definitely be on the lookout for September 18th. Now, before I conclude this video, something else that I would like to note is that while Kojima was talking about the stick on the rope, he showcased this image featuring 4 caricature characters holding hands, with a 2 on each end linking together by holding a rope. This image is not only a visual representation of the rope concept and the theme of connection, but it also features caricatures of people you may recognize, including Hideo Kojima, Norman Reedus, and Guillermo del Toro. There's nothing surprising about Kojima and Norman being featured in this image, since we know that they're both involved in Death Stranding, but the fact that Del Toro is in this image as well raises some interesting questions, like, is he more involved in Death Stranding than Kojima's letting on? In one of my previous videos, I presented some evidence suggesting the possibility that actor Kevin Durand from Del Toro's TV show The Strain could be in consideration to play a character in Death Stranding. And now with this image on top of that, perhaps we can assume that Del Toro is at the very least helping Kojima in some way, shape, or form, perhaps as a connection to find actors to portray some of his new characters. And then there's the matter of the man on the very right. I have no idea who he is, but perhaps it's a hint of another actor who is involved in Death Stranding. He's also featured in this previous image that Kojima showcased when he was talking about the stick concept, where we see the character fighting against Norman Reedus' caricature. Perhaps this is Kojima's way of hinting that whichever character this unknown actor will be portraying will be an enemy of Norman Reedus' character in Death Stranding. Now, one interesting assumption is that this is none other than Mads Mikkelsen, who has recently been rumored to play a character in Death Stranding after he was allegedly spotted working with Kojima in a motion capture studio. Further suggesting that this caricature might be a representation of Mads is the fact that he's wearing a hoodie, a casual wear that Mads seems to wear quite often, particularly this red one. So one train of thought is that Kojima might be hinting at Norman Reedus' character being Death Stranding's main protagonist, and Mads Mikkelsen's character being the main antagonist, or some kind of antagonist. Obviously, this is all theories and speculation, but at the very least, I figure these images were worth pointing out, as you never know when Kojima's secretly providing hints regarding his upcoming new game. But anyway, there you have it folks, all the new information from Kojima's TGS 2016 presentation. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts about Death Stranding being open world and featuring co-op, and share with us your theories about what you think the images Kojima showcased during his presentation mean. And to be further updated on Death Stranding news, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out!